The invention of the telephone is attributed to Alexander Graham Bell, a Scottish-born inventor, scientist, and teacher. Here's a fictionalized story of the events leading up to the invention of the telephone. In the late 19th century, in the city of Boston, Massachusetts, lived a brilliant and inquisitive man named Alexander Graham Bell. From a young age, Alexander displayed an intense fascination with sound, communication, and speech. He was always experimenting with various mechanical devices to understand how sound traveled and how it could be reproduced. One day, while working on his latest experiment, Alexander was struck with an idea that would change the world forever. As he tinkered with a rudimentary telegraph system, he noticed that when he plucked a wire, the sound traveled through the wire and produced a faint hum at the other end. This observation sparked his curiosity, and he began to wonder if sound could be transmitted over a distance, just like the telegraph transmitted messages. For months, Alexander worked tirelessly in his small laboratory, conducting countless experiments and refining his concept. He envisioned a device that could transmit the human voice, allowing people to speak to each other over long distances without the need for physical presence. Finally, after numerous setbacks and sleepless nights, Alexander made a breakthrough. He had developed a crude prototype of what he called the electrical speech machine. Excited about his discovery, he rushed to share the news with his trusted friend Thomas Watson, who had been assisting him in his experiments. One fateful day on March 10, 1876, Alexander and Watson were ready to put their invention to the ultimate test. They connected the prototype device with a series of wires and positioned the receiving end across the room. Alexander took a deep breath and spoke the famous words, "Mr. Watson, come here. I want to see you." To his amazement, the faint sound of his voice traveled through the wires and reached Thomas Watson on the other end. A moment of disbelief filled the room before Watson shouted in excitement, "It works. You've done it, Graham." The telephone, as it would later be named, was born. Word of Alexander's incredible invention spread like wildfire, and he soon filed a patent for his device. The telephone quickly caught the attention of investors and the public alike. As the news spread, people began to understand the revolutionary impact of this invention on communication and society. Over the following years, Alexander Graham Bell continued to refine the telephone, making it more practical and accessible to the general public. The telephone's commercial success allowed Bell to establish the Bell Telephone Company and expand his telecommunications empire. In the years that followed, the telephone became an indispensable part of modern life, connecting people across continents and revolutionizing the way we communicate forever. And so the brilliant mind of Alexander Graham Bell, the man who invented the telephone, left an enduring legacy that would shape the course of human history.